What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part lucky number 13 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Taurox the Brass Bull campaign. So as we saw last time, Taurox has made it all the way to Kurun, capturing the Defiled Tournament grounds, the other of the nearby special herdstones, which is nice, and since we've got the upgrades, it starts at tier 4, or rather than tier 1, like Altdorf did back in the day. Now Taurox will move to continue the destruction of Kurun, and will probably switch to the Chevalier and Delianess within probably this episode, in fact, while everybody else continues on their own rampages. We also got our first new army, the first of which will be our god armies on the field, and well, at least we got the Lord on the field. We'll once through Heartrender, and he will be followed by more until we get all the armies that we want. Exciting times, and hopefully they will continue. Let's see what we've got to do this turn. We are, well, I mean, we might as well start moving Taurox around. Let's go for Alan Sarkov first. Ruination stands for you, and away you go. You're probably going to be able to only raise the single territory, but oh well, not a big deal. Auto-resolve this for obvious reasons. This is just garbage, and we barely even take damage that time around. Well, we need lots of money, so we're gonna loot and raise, and we're gonna stop, and we're gonna transfer back into Juggernaut raiding, and head to Hendai, rather, next turn. A little bit of extra cash via the raiding, and how close are we to getting the Harsh Rampage back up? Probably a couple of settlements away. Maybe even next turn if we get both of these, and then continue to move. Not too bad. Alrighty, who is up next after Mr. Taurox? Morger is near to Schoppendorf, which unfortunately barely has any defenders, so I guess we'll be auto-resolving you as well. Alright. Move on in, and then we'll head to Brockhill, which I see is under siege, but it might be by rebels, so not super relevant to us at the current time. I'll resolve this. And a little bit of damage on a few units, but they should be able to heal. Keep looting and raising, I guess. If nothing else, it keeps our bestial rage rising. Ritual of Ruin available at Kurun, not super relevant, but the Talisman of Endurance is always nice to get. Morger, get into raiding stance, and unfortunately everywhere here is in Schoppendorf, but whatever. Start moving towards Brockhill, and Delbers, and possibly all the way to Middenheim, though I'm not 100% sure that we care about going that far north with Morger. Though I suppose when he builds another army himself, I think we're going to get one god army per each lord, though I suppose Tzeentch should have been one of Morger's, because, well, he already has Tsangors, but whatever. Maybe it's actually better not to have like and like armies together, and then we'll have to loop back around to go to Athel-Loren. It'll happen eventually. We'll get to it. Anyway, Kazrak, you actually have a battle nearby. Now, what you also have nearby is another Wargor, another Nurgle's Foul Stink Wargor, right? What do we have on you two? You also have Nurgle's Foul Stink, and then you have Confident. I do like... I think Nurgle's Foul Stink is probably the better one. I don't know if we should delete another Gore Herd out of this army, though. Which makes me think we take out this Wargor and then send him somewhere, while this Wargor joins in. On the other hand, it's probably not a big deal. Also, this might hurt our chances of moving far, so maybe not. Maybe we'll ignore it for now. What we will not ignore, however, is this. First, we get... Oh, wait, double check. Do you have scouting? You have no scouting, which means we don't have to level your scouting as yet, and are free to get Earthing, Magical Reserves into Arcane Conduit next. Probably should have... Okay, wait. Let's instead get Earthing and Corruption, and then we'll get Magical Reserves in Arcane Conduit. I also don't particularly care about the Death Shaman, since we'll be deleting them. Ruination stands for you, and we will be fighting this battle, as Essen is worth destroying. Alright, Pyrrhic victory and medium casualties, you say. Once again, we will have a Malevolent Tree Man to bring down, 2 Malevolent Tree Men, in fact, and Kazarak is gonna have a lot more trouble with these guys, probably, than Morgar's army did, because we don't have those throwing axes to rely upon. Before we get started, unfortunately, we did not reach the engagement threshold this time around, so this will be the standard length episode. However, this is also the 13th episode, which is the last time I typically lower the threshold. So from now on, 250 likes and 40 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. So do keep that in mind if you're into this sort of thing. But for now, we'll shut up because we gotta get fighting in this shorter ep. I agree, Kazrak. I agree entirely. Anyway, here we go. It's a minor, well, not really a minor settlement in Wood Elven outpost, which means it's a sort of a choke point battle, similar to the Underway and the Beast Paths and the World Routes and whatnot, which means this actually is advantageous to the enemy. They have a full stack plus 1,000 extra troops from the garrison, and most of the extra troops will be in the form of additional range units, which should be able to blob up around all those malevolent dryads and damage us. Now, this actually definitely works in the enemy's favor, as normally we'd be able to send our 6-8 units of fast-moving units, our various doggos, piggies, and chariots around the enemy army to deal with all those range units, but now we're going to have to do our best to simply charge through the enemy army in order to get to their back line. As to whether it'll work out, we shall have to see. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit as we get prepared to hit the enemy army. We're also launching the occasional spell at the enemy, those Flocks of Doom, hopefully dishing out the damage. They're not going to be on par with Morgars, perhaps, but hopefully enough to still be worth our time. Here comes the giant wolves of the enemy, leading the vanguard and trying to surround the chariot of Kazarak with some help from those bats. The enemy also launch a few arrows his way, but I feel like a few of those hit their own units, which ain't that great. This actually isn't a great matchup for Kazarak either, as once again he is on that chariot. But he's also not super threatened by these guys, so he'll be fine, and he does have his army backing him up. Anyway, time to charge the enemy Gors and Dustigors and our single unit Minotaurs here. We'll charge forward. We also have our fast movers who will be sort of interspersed among the army. The poison doggos to add the poison to the main lines, and the piggies to act as, or to add their bleed. And that is just to function as supports. The rest of the units, or specifically the other 2 units, the 2 chariots, are the 2 units we're going to try to send through to the back line. So there they are. They're going to try to charge through, but it looks like they either didn't have the speed or don't have the mass to quite make it through that pile of dryads. Though, to be fair, it is a lot of dryads. A little bit unfortunate, but at least Kazarak has made it into the background, and he's just cycle charging every single unit of range units he can. He's already, in fact, forced one of them to rout, and he's going to keep doing that until we can get all of our Razor Gore chariots through the enemy line, out and towards them, to continue distracting them. Over here we have our Minotaurs working together with our Koroks Man Rippers, the Bistigor herds with halberds, to try to deal with the enemy malevolent Ancient Tree Man. He's going to pop Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma on us, and we're going to counter with Wissen's Wild Form, though it's looking like it's being very tough to bring Isilal the Wild down. He's still got plenty of HP, and he's heavily armored, so he's going to be an issue. The Dryads, by the looks of it, are doing a pretty good job holding as well. Yeah, we just have 2 big old melee lines sort of mashed together. Haven't had a lot of this in recent times, as in we've sort of had skirmishes all over the battlefield, especially with the fast movers and various armies, so it's nice to see actual battle lines. Even if it doesn't feel quite appropriate as Beastmen, they're also not particularly disciplined battle lines, so I'm mollified to some degree. Anyway, it looks like our chariots have made it through. We're even going to send our Beret Shaman of Death to help out as well. He is on a chariot as well, after all, and can help out annoy all those enemy range units. And the enemy range units are no threat to Khazrak or the Razor Gore chariots or even the chariot Bray Shaman. Looks like finally the Malevolent Tree Man has routed, and not a moment too soon, as Korok's Man Rippers were down to 15% HP and were nearly ready to rout as well. Of course, there are still some Dryads holding, but I imagine without range support and without their Lord fighting, they won't be holding for long. Balance power is at about 80% in our favor. I see the leadership dropping all over the map. The second Malevolent Ancient Tree Man will run, and seeing the other Malevolent Ancient Tree Man run, it looks like the Dryads will follow suit, and the battle will be ours. Very nice. Very nice indeed. We do not have to give chase to the enemy because this is a settlement battle, however, and we do want to bring down that enemy lord just because we can. Khazrak, let's see if we can get you the kill. Before ending the battle, charge on in, and down he goes. Perfect. He stepped on Khazrak's piggy here, and it was so spiky. It was like stepping on a big Lego. Anyway, heroic victory. Very nice. Let's see how much damage we took, but I'm pretty happy with the battle. Alright, very nice, very nice. A heroic victory for Khazrak, a little bit surprisingly, perhaps. I'm not entirely 100% sure why it was considered a heroic victory. I guess the Outer Resolve was thinking that we'd take a lot more damage than we ended up taking, and we did deal quite a bit. The two Razor Gore chariots certainly dished it out, in fact beating the two Razor Gores and the Hounds as well, so good job to the chariots, and now I'm thinking maybe we do need 4 of them in this army after all. But we need to keep room for Bestigors as well. I'll think about it. We'll see what kind of room we have left. And if we do 4 chariots, then we probably will want a 3rd Wargore as well. Well, we shall see, we shall see. Still, good job to Khazrak, and good job to the 2 chariots. Out of the other units, it looks like the Blighted Mongrels and the Drakewald Doggos and did the most, well, got the most kills, although neither of the 2 piggies were too far behind. We are going to loot and raise, because we need the Bestial Rage, and, well, the healing would be nice as well, but yeah, get the Bestial Rage, and move away. I wish you hadn't moved in that direction, but, oh wow, you moved far. Huh, that's actually not bad. You're quite close to this place. I'll take it. Go into raiding stance, and oh, just short of being able to reach it. Of course. Now, Narn the Ruin Maker can actually reach this army. If nothing else, it might be better that we start leveling him, so maybe we remove this Gore herd here. A little bit unfortunate to do so, but may as well keep leveling these guys up. And we will still need more of them, though. Borgwar Blackheart, you're going to head all the way to Taurox, though you've got a long way to travel. And, ooh, I don't like how this army is sitting right outside of Krugenheim. Granted, it wasn't a crazy investment into this, but I still don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Khazrak, you're gonna max out on Bestial Rage, which is good, because we do want your tier 5, eventually, if we can hopefully afford it by that time. Oh, we also do want to get you your Shaman's Pyre, to get that Shatterstone ability. We saw how useful it is with Taurox, and damn well will it be useful in other places. Alright, now, where do we build the next Wargore? We are going to keep building them everywhere we can. Booze Cravings is fine. You know what, I think it's pretty critical that we get a Wargore for Malagor, so we should. Although, Malagor should probably attack first, shouldn't he? Because it's not like the Wargore would be able to enter his army anyway, not upon being spawned, meaning yes, we'll attack first. Malagor, and let's level you, and let's head on in. I'm trying to remember what we were going to do next. Fueled by blood, the vigor loss reduction, if nothing else, is nice. And a little bit of bonus speed. Or magical reserves into Doom of Mankind. Let's go fueled by blood since it buffs the entire army, but now finally we'll go through this and get Doom of Mankind. I know it's really necessary to get these passives for his casting. I've been taking way too long to do so, but, well, what are you gonna do? Scouting, Wissen's Wild Form, and, well, if we're gonna cast Flock of Doom, we're most likely going to cast it via Malagor, so we'll get Wild Heart and Pan's Impenetrable Pelt. Mainly the Beast Shaman is here to buff the relatively fragile flyers into being capable of, you know, sustaining themselves and not dying instantly. Malagor. To Anuja, we have a valiant defeat by the looks of it, eh? Ooh, they do have some feral ice bears and a feral Carno this time around. Oh, well, isn't that just lovely for them? And let's see how we handle this. Well, darn, missed Malagor's speech this time around. Ooh, nice lighting, though. Everything will be nice and visible as we once again demonstrate the superiority of the flying army when it comes down to taking enemy cities. All the Manticores and all the Harpies will head on in. Malagor rather, will lead. A few of the Harpies will peel away and head to the enemy tower, while the rest simply move into the city where they can take better positions and go after the enemy units on the walls. Speaking of the units on the walls, there they are, and ooh, looks like the I didn't know you could use Chill Wind on a wall. Interesting. Interesting, but odd. It doesn't seem like a spell you should be able to use upon a wall, but I guess it's not that important. It did slightly damage our Harpies, but they will rip the Dark Shards apart up here without too much trouble at all. There we go, and there are far, far too many Harpies here to deal with for those units on the walls. We've also summoned our Defiled Crows as well, which are useful and unbreakable, annoying the enemies just below them, and keeping them sort of in a disorderly formation. Our Manticores have their own thing to do, however, 3 of them dropping down upon the enemy Feral Carnosaur. Was that a 4th? 4, okay, you know what, I think they're all here now. All of them go after that Carnosaur so that we can drop in the rest of our units, and man, there are a lot of effects coming down. Another Flock of Doom from Malagor as well, while we try to hold off that Carno, but it looks like it's in pretty bad shape down to about half HP as well. It is very threatening, but we can deal with it just fine. Alright, how are we doing otherwise? The Feral Ice Bears are moving in to help, but we are also making our way into the enemy settlement with that Shatterstone ability. The enemy lord is a that poor Ungor. The enemy lord is a supreme sorceress of shadows, but she's down to about half HP. And between the Gorbel and the Giant and the Ungors and the Razor Gores now heading in, all chasing after said enemy lord. You were supposed to die on cue, but you didn't. Alright, it's gonna take another blow or two. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure they can do it, but in the meantime, we have Harpies moving in and hitting the enemy in the back line as well. There were a pile of range units back here, though there was a unit of Cold One Knights protecting them, but not to worry, our Razor Gores and other melee units will distract them, while the Harpies rip into those range units. Very, very nice. And then over here, the enemy army is trapped among all of those Manticores attacking them at the same time. The Manticores were needed here to bring down that Carnosaur, followed then by the Black Guard of Nagaroth. It was very much necessary. And let's see, I believe there's an enemy Death Hag in there as well, but it looks like the Black Guard are routing. In fact, most of the enemy units are routing. Oh, which very much works. Alright. And our little reinforcing lord is there. And huh? What? Did he just explode at full HP? What the heck? Well, that's an interesting bug. I think it has something to... Oh, right. Yes. I think it has something to do with the way the wall was destroyed. I think he moved too close to this and then was counted as if either he fell off the wall or went inside the wall and just died. All right. After this recording, when we get back to the overworld map, I'm not gonna know what the heck happened. But I made a note to myself to look back over the replay and find the Lord to see how he managed to die. But all right, I couldn't have prevented that basically. So yeah, I don't think that one's on me. Maybe a little bit on me. I should have assumed that he'd, you know, just explode and disappear trying to move through a breach like that. Well, that was silly, and I guess he was not fated to be one of our lords, but at least I know. But pardon the confusion in the next few seconds as well. Due to the replay, there's a little bit of time shenanigans. Well, I don't know what happened there, as in, I wasn't paying attention to this guy, but, well, maybe by the time I do the commentary, I will remember to take a look at what the heck happened to him. He came in as a reinforcement, so I have no clue whatsoever as to how he died. A bit unfortunate for him, he didn't last long, so I guess we'll have to replace him, but at least we didn't invest in his horde, so we're still okay there. Malagor, you did 69k, nice damage. Very nice damage indeed. Your Manticores did fairly well as well by the looks of it. Several of them getting 13 and 10k damage, and a couple of the Harpies units did well as well. It looks like a couple of unnamed ones and Icarus's Angels there. Dirty Harry finally got to play around, and the Piggies did okay as well, though they won't obviously stay in this army. We're gonna loot and raise, because 5k buys quite a bit of nice stuff, so loot it, raise it, stop running. And then we're going to have to get a new lord, but I guess we'll have to wait until the next turn. Maybe it was fated that we go for the Nurgle's Foul Stink Lord after all, instead of the other. Anyway, Malagor, go into raiding stance. And actually you can't go that far, but you should still be able to reach San Pedro de Sur next time. Do you need to build anything? I guess you don't, other than the Wargor. So I guess we're gonna build you a Wargor. Alright. Alright, my bad. Whatever happened, my bad. Army receives Plague, Ritual of Ruin available at Tor Corindus, but it'll depend on a few of the other things there, and it's not like we're in a hurry now anyway. You, sir, and the most important thing to do with you, get you Will of the Dark Gods passive ability area buff, and we'll want to get you this, Alpha Beast, causes fear for Harpies, and passive ability Frenzy for Harpies as well. Pretty big upgrade, and the replenished troops is gonna be real nice. Don't know why you started level 16, but I'm very happy about it. Oh, you also have Retinue Valet. Damn, the Wargors are useful. Yeah, there should be a Wargor in every single army. I was gonna say that maybe we don't need one in Morgurs, but they just provide too much, useful stuff. Corroded Will, screw upgrading your attacky capabilities, or your fighting ability. We're going to get you Blood on the Wind for campaign movement range for the Lord. And I guess we'll probably want one of these totems as well, eh? Either an enemy, a reduction, or melee defense and physical resistance and immunity to psychology. That could be quite useful on the Harpies who have fear rather than terror. Unless Malagor gives them... Oh, wait, they already have fear. Oh, Malagor gives them fear already, but they don't. But he doesn't give them frenzy, does he? Yeah. So we still get some use out of that. I'm not 100% sure we should keep you on the chariot. You know, once you're among the giants, perhaps we'll take you off that, but for now you can stay on it. We could get Eerie Insight. Campaign line of sight is also nice. I don't really care about the defense chance while we're not fighting Skaven. But I do think we want to get Totem of the Herd, so let's get Eerie Insight and then Totem of the Herd, and then go into Retinue Valet for that magic item drop chance. And then we'll build him up to be a fighter eventually. Ah, very, very nice. That's a lot of additional buffs for Malagor, much needed as well. And we'll have to replace one of the Ungors, but that's just fine by me. Alright, I believe with that we are ready to end the turn and proceed. We actually have 1600 Dread again, which means if we wanted to, and we could purchase, for example, the new Horde armies are raised with a building at level 2 and start with the Den, which saves us some money in building the Den. Or we keep, or we get another army capacity. Yeah, that's probably the way to go, isn't it? After we get a few more Wargors, because clearly every single army is going to need at least one. How many more turns do we have in the Wargor buffs? We have 6. Okay, so we're still good for a little while. But we do have to pay attention to it. Anyway, skip, and end the turn. Hope I didn't forget anything, like I forgot that poor lord. Well, you know what, maybe Tzeentch didn't appreciate the fact that it was a strong lord that was supposed to be a Tzeentchian. So too bad for him. Too bad, so sad. We won't be seeing him again. Who's next? Alright, World Walkers, and they are not going to attack us. I'm actually a little bit surprised. They don't seem to like the fact that we attacked Rakarth, since they seem to be on friendly terms. But otherwise, we're fine. Alright, good. Settlement receives Plague. Yeah, they'll do that. Battle Masters defeat Lennart Stalberg, the Ever-Living, and more armies. Gotta get to that fight for Morgr. I want to try out that Jabberslythe, but enemies have not been nearby and worthy of fighting. Flying Spy for Shardui, which we don't care about. Faction encountered Modron. How'd that happen? Oh, they moved up here near to Castle Sanglak. I do have to wonder whether they'll attack it, and I imagine that they will. Possibly. We'll see. But obviously we don't care about it whatsoever. Taurox. We'll start with you. As we do. Head out to wait, you know what? Go into ambush stance. Go here. And then switch stances. Oh, did I not? Oh, we didn't have the money to build these. Let's go for the shamanic challenges here. And you know what? Usually we build a Storm of Suffering for these places, but I think we don't have a chosen Korngor place, and we'll build it here at Kurun. Mostly because it gives us charge, and I don't know, it feels right to me. You, take Hendai. Ruination stance first, of course. And I'll resolve that. Try not to take too much damage. Nah, you're good now. And it's not a lot of money and it's not a lot of rage. We need all the money we can get. Stop moving. Head into regular stance. Can't reach. Juggernaut rating. Yes, can reach. Good. Just barely, so. Ooh, a doe. Fantastic. Why haven't we been getting those before? That's weird. So we want one everywhere. Loot and raise as well. And stop moving. Another Pigeon Plucker Pendant, which we can hopefully turn into something useful, and you just short of the Rampage. Oh well, that's a shame. But it's okay. Hopefully... Oh, we'll need to cross the water to get to Castle Longi. Well, that's annoying. You'll have to waste a turn to use the Beast Paths to get to it, but I guess you can Beast Paths over to this side and then move this way. Maybe to Fragun? Or maybe to Longi itself. Longi will get Hendai, which is not covered by some of the other stuff here, and then we get something over here. And just to do as much area denial as possible. Anyway, go into Juggernaut rating, and go as... Oh. Maybe we can reach this next turn. Alright, just get as close to it as you can, then. And let's hope. Is this well defended? I wouldn't say it's well defended. We could do the ritual at Kurun, though I don't think that it's critical or that we care much. So I think we'll just leave it alone. Morgr, you're up, buddy. You're trying to get to Brokel, but I think you won't be able to reach it for, well, until next turn, so start traveling. We're probably not going to peace out with these guys, so might as well just go. Alrighty, and oh, you're quite close to it, actually. That ain't bad. Too bad you can't get any additional range, but, well, we'll get where you need to go shortly. Next up, Kazrak. Another Wargor. Ooh, a Rotten Wargor. That's very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. We'll need additional Wargor capacity then. Lords and Heroes. And let's get Wargor 1. And let's get the Rotten one right on the field. Cornash Hornbreaker. Sounds kind of cornate to me. But Rotten seems like a Nurglish thing. Speaking of Nurglish things, wait. Maybe Kaz should get the next. Well, I mean, we could get two at the same time, effectively. Oh! Strategist. You know what? Strategist sounds much more Tzeentchen than Strong did. I like that a lot more, in fact. Alright, well. Then we know what we're doing. First of all, Malagor, you're going to go into Ruination. You're going to not quite reach the place. Alright, fine. You're going to go into regular stance. And you're going to head to San Pedro de Sur. I don't know whether we'll be attacking it. A moment. Go right... Go right here. Yeah, we have to put this guy in his army as well, so we'll have to delete a unit, but whatever, not a big deal. Pyrrhic victory and... Ah, damn. The game's gonna make us fight this. Well, that's just right. I might fight this between the episodes, because frankly, we've already seen Malagor and deal with armies like this without really any problems, so, you know. You are going to besiege, then you are going to get rid of this one Ungor herd, and then you are going to pop Kazanor the Savage into this army to buff up those harpies with a nice bit of frenzy. Alright, very nice indeed. Now they get +5 charge bonus, melee attack +10, and immunity to psychology, as well as additional damage. They really needed it. Too bad we can't get frenzy on the manticores. It seems like nothing buffs manticores, which is a bit of a shame, because I'm kind of liking them since they're not feral and don't go rampaging, which makes other manticore forms quite annoying. Anyway, Abraku the Heart Eater. I'll try not to get you killed, man. Wait. Wait a moment. I have a thought. We could get him up at rank 15 if we just get a little bit more dread, so we can wait a couple turns. In fact, probably one turn. We'd probably be able to get it next turn. Yeah, I think it'll be worth our time to do that, so that's what we shall do. Kazrak. We could ambush this guy and attack him, or we could just ignore him. Let me just see here. If you go into Ruination, it says, oh, you're just at the edge of this? Meaning, if you fail to ambush, you won't be able to reach him. Meaning, you should probably ignore him. Okay, well, we already have too many Wargors in this party, so I guess this one's just gonna follow until we get a new army up and running. Although, we should start moving one over / send one over to Morgor, but it doesn't necessarily have to be these ones. Maybe we keep the two ones with Nurgle's Foul Stink and give them to a Nurgle army and generate a Nurgle army with Kazrak and give him some doggos, for example. I think that makes sense. Anyway, Kaz, go to Fishital. And auto-resolve it. A little bit of damage, what can you do? We will... Let's see, this feels like it's not worth it. Raise to heal. And stop. And there we go. That'll allow you to heal fully. Free potion of strength as well. Go into a raiding stance and move to Nachtdorf, which is the very last settlement of the Wargrove of Woe. I'm kind of hoping that these guys try to attack it, because that will allow us to destroy them then and there. We are out of Wargor capacity. We'll try to get one a little bit more next turn, while we still have that. And, ooh, we can get Bray Shamans at rank 19 now. Damn. I'm almost tempted to delete a few Shamans. This one is a Shaman of Beasts. He does have Raised with Hounds, though, but he's a level 7. We could replace you with a much higher level Shaman. Oh, and there's an Unsated Bloodthirst one. Wait. Oh, Taurox, let me just see you for a second. This guy's at level 13. It's not that big enough of a difference. Although, if we were to raise another one of these... Oh, we got a Gorbel with Korn's Fury. That should go into the Cornate army. Damn, I'm excited about all these heroes. What do we have here? Horde Growth, Rotten. Yeah, the very high levels of these guys are real tempting right now. Level 19, level 13, we do need more shaman capacity as well. Maybe next time we pop the shaman capacity buff, or the reduction for the dread for the next rampage. You're at level 9, and you have Nurgle's Foul Stink. We could swap you out for a level 19 and get you, I don't know, Cunning? Very Poison, I guess. Increases ambush success chance, not that it really matters for this particular army. Anyway, I think I will give this some consideration, but we'll do so between the episodes, and I'm going to call it here. I will attack this real quick in between the episodes and destroy the enemies, as I don't think it'll be too much of a battle. And then next time we will continue moving through Ricard's territories, though it doesn't look like he has all that much left. 6 territories and the balance of power is definitely in our favor. Taurox will begin his attack on the Chevalier de Lyonesse, which we haven't actually declared war against yet, and hopefully Morgar will be able to try out his Jabberslythe, and Taurox try out his Gorgon. Been waiting for those. But anyway, more times to come with the Beastmen. We can also see that the stuff is ramping up. We're at turn 44. I think by turn 60 or so we'll have 8 armies, possibly 9 armies on the field, and lots and lots of elite units. So, nearly there. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to the threshold, the new threshold, if you're interested in the hour-long next episode. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.